All right. Um, Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining this call. Thank you for having me come speak a little bit about Yale Young Global Scholars. Um, we do have a question in the chat. Where you are calling in from? So we're curious about some of the places people are tuning in from tonight. If you want to drop that in the chat. All right. Seattle, Tampa. Is LV Las Vegas? I'm not familiar with that acronym. Okay, very cool. Got Virginia, originally from Kabul, Afghanistan, but currently Pennsylvania. Very cool. Philadelphia, cool. All right, just gonna give it about another 2 minutes, and then we'll get going with the presentation here. I'd also be curious in the chat, how many people have heard of Yale Young Global Scholars before versus how many people are, this is a completely new conversation for you? Okay, so someone applied last year and gonna apply this year again. Hopefully get better results. I'd love to meet you. And then we also have some people, this is a completely new conversation. All right, so I have about 13 slides. I don't have a lot of slides, but I'll kind of describe what we do to you for you, and then we'll have question and answers for a few minutes after I get through my slide deck as well. All right, so Sydney, if you're ready, I will.
Go ahead.
Okay, so let's see. Sure. All right, so I'm here to talk about a summer opportunity called Yale Young Global Scholars. Every summer, we bring about 1,800 high school students to Yale's campus for programming for 2 week sessions. This photograph was a group from, I think, 2 years ago, and they're in one of Yale's colleges. So Yale has 13 colleges where Yale students live. And during the summer, Yale Young Global Scholar students live in the same college dormitories where Yale students live during the school year. So this one is Davenport, which is again one of the 13 colleges at Yale. And gonna so about Yale Young Global Scholars, we're an academic summer enrichment program for outstanding high school students from around the world. Every summer, we bring students from more than 150 different countries to our 2 week programs that we do on campus. So we're academic summer enrichment. We're all about exploring ideas and broadening horizons, but we're not here to really, we're not a skills-based program. So we're not going to teach you how to get a high SAT score. We're not going to teach you to write essays, because we're really just about exploring ideas that hopefully you don't see in your normal high school curriculum. 2026, we will have 3 sessions. So you can, in the application, you can indicate your preference for which session you really prefer to be in based on whatever other commitments you might have during the summer. Session 1 is going to run June 21st to July 3rd. Session 2 will run July 5th through July 17th. Session 3 will run July 19th through July 31st. And we have 3 academic tracks. You can again list the tracks in terms of priority, which one will be your first choice, second choice, third choice, if you have 3 choices. I'm the manager for the Innovations in Science and Technology track. We also have Politics of Law and Economics, Social Sciences track, and Solving Global Challenges, which is a cross-disciplinary track Um, Most of their offerings are organized around the United Nations Sustainability Developmental Goals. Um, if you come to YYGS, your programming will consist of lectures with professors, seminars, short 2-day courses you can take, symposium activities that really vary. I might talk about that later if people want to know. Breakout sessions where you talk about what was discussed in lecture, a capstone project, and a family time session. And at this point, I want to share a calendar to try to give you a feel for like what a day in the life looks like at YYGS. So right on our website, I'm just going to Google Yale Young Global Scholars. It's already there. I'm going to go to the residential life area where I will find a tentative schedule. So this is tentatively what the entire program looks like. I'm just going to zoom in and look at just one day. I'm going to look at Monday to try to give you a feel for this. So on Sunday, people arrive, do orientation, get a tour of the campus. Monday is when we really start programming. We open with breakfast, eat a nice, strong, healthy breakfast to get your mental fuel because you're going to be burning a lot of calories and glucose with the thinking you're going to do. Family time is a small group, usually about 10 students, where you'll start your day doing community building activities. We don't want anyone to leave YYGS without making friends. So we have a lot of opportunities for you to meet different people from the program and hopefully find some people that really resonate, really vibe with you, and that you're going to want to keep in touch with beyond your time at YYGS. After the family time opening activities, you go to the lecture, which runs from 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. This is going to be everyone in your track. If you do IST, it'll probably be about 200 people in a large auditorium. SGC and PLE, the other two tracks, probably be about 170 people or something like that. This is where I'm inviting Yale professors to come talk to you about the research they do or the things that they teach. So a lot of students really love this because it's really fun to actually hear from a Yale professor. A lot of them will stay for question and answer segments after the lecture, so you can actually talk to them if you were really inspired or really interested in what they presented. After that, we will break for lunch and free time. After lunch, you go to a seminar. So a seminar is a short 2-day course that was built by your summer instructor, mainly Yale undergraduate and graduate students who have time during the summer and are interested in teaching. So they build their own course and you take the course. So the lecture is everyone all together at 10 a.m. The seminar is, again, it's a smaller group and you choose your seminars. So you'll get a list of the seminars before we start and you can rank which seminars you want to take while you're here based on what's interesting to you. So that's a really fun chance to get a small group of people who are all excited about a topic and diving deeper into it together in a seminar classroom. After seminar, you get a short break. Then you're going to be in the capstone project classroom. So the capstone project, all the YYGS students are built into small groups and they do a capstone project and then they present pretty much at the end of their YYGS time. It's probably the most difficult part of YYGS, of the capstone project. This is where we do want to try to build a few skills, research skills. So we have a toolkit that Yale librarians have built out to introduce you to doing research. And that's about as general as I can describe it because your capstone experience in PLE or SGC, solving global challenges, it is going to be pretty different from your experience in the STEM branch. So depending on which track you want to go to, your capstone experience will look different. But common thing is like you'll have some instructors advising you, and then you'll have a toolkit that your librarian has built out to help you research a topic of your choosing. And again, you'll be put into groups based on your interest. We'll try to build groups based on common interests. So that's 3:45 to 5 p.m. Then we get another break and we close the day with a 45-minute breakout discussion where we're going to revisit ideas from the lecture. The lecturers know that they're speaking to high school students, but their work is really sophisticated. So we found it really helps to give students, again, time to go into a small room, about 10 people, and revisit, share some of your impressions, share what stuck with you, share maybe if something is not clear and you want to talk about it, that's a chance to revisit and hopefully drive home those ideas during breakout discussion. Then you get some more free time before lights out, and we check in for the evening. During free time, a lot of students will use their free time to work on their capstone project. Other students will use their free time to play ping pong in the recreational rooms, or play frisbee on the lawn, or go to local ice cream shops and other things. So your free time is totally your time. Um, some of it will very likely be dedicated to capstone, or you might want to use some of your free time to read. Sometimes lectures will give pre-readings, or your seminar might have pre-readings that you want to catch up on before the next day. That's pretty much your Monday through Friday. I'm going to fast forward to the end. And then towards the end of the program, you're going to present your capstones and your groups. Then we'll have a talent show towards the end. And we close with a last night party. Of course, there'll be music, there'll be indoor games, there'll be games on the lawn, there'll likely be karaoke. We just want to celebrate making it to the finish line before we wrap up. Now I'm going to get back to my slides. A few more to go here. Oops, let me just, okay. So we just walked through a day in the life. So lectures, I just said, my job is to find Yale professors who want to come talk about their work with you during the summer. Here are some lectures we've had in the past. So I'm the STEM manager. So of course, I invite Professor Brian Scazzolati, who does robots that teach. Hopefully, Professor Scazzolati is around next summer and can talk about his work with more students. It's really, really remarkable the things his lab is doing with robots and learning settings and supporting students. We have Kishwar Rizvi, Nation Building and Public Architecture. So that was probably a PLE lecturer. We have Lisa Komita, How Forests Shape Climate and Climate Change is Shaping Forest. That was probably in Solving Global Challenges, or SGC lecture. And Samuel Moyen, Where Do Humans Come From? Again, that was probably a PLE lecture when Professor Moyen came and talked. And so not every lecture is going to have pre-readings. For example, Professor Scazzolati never really has pre-readings. It's going to vary depend on who decides to come and do a lecture for us. Breakout sessions, fun fact, this photo, I've been with the program for a while now, so this is probably a SGC cohort, and judging on how many people are there, this is probably from a lecture. This picture is not from a breakout, but the breakout is to revisit ideas from the lecture, share your opinions, your takeaways, what lingering curiosities you have. Seminars, so again, these are taught by Yale students, undergraduate and graduate level, and recent graduates. Here are some sample titles that we've seen in the past. Can I edit my own genes? Artificial intelligence may be too intelligent. Our brains on stereotypes, the psychology of prejudice, stereotyping, and discrimination. When you're selecting your seminars, you will have a list, and along with titles, you will have abstracts, short descriptions of what that seminar aims to discuss, what you can expect if you choose to take that seminar. This is just a selection of titles to give you an idea for some of the things instructors have lectured on before. These do change every year based on which Yale students want to come be our summer instructors. So this is a sampling. It changes a little bit every year. And of course, it's going to be different focuses depending on which track you decide to go with. Family time, again, family time is about community building. We know it's, for a lot of people, it's the first time away from home, especially the first time extended stay away from home. So we do want to try to get you connected to people, have you feel like you're not alone, get you to have some common experiences with your peers while you're here to help you make connections. So, who is eligible for YYGS? Age, Our participants are between the ages of 16 to 18 by July 19th, 2026, which is the first day of the last session of the summer. English fluency. Um, we examined some pretty sophisticated ideas, so participants do need to be comfortable grappling with those ideas in English and communicating in English. Grade level, our program is for current high school sophomore or junior or international equivalents. There's some variation from nation to nation, but those are real target audience. Graduation, you should be graduating in May/June of 2027 or 2028 from the Northern Hemisphere, or in November/December of 2026 or 2027 if you're from the Southern Hemisphere. YYGS participation. Uh, so YYGS is only designed for participants to do it once. If you did it in a prior year, you're not eligible. If you applied for a session in the previous year, but you didn't participate, you are eligible. You are welcome to apply again, um, and come participate. Application details. So the application, our thinking is that we want to prepare you for when you actually have to apply to college. So we do try to do like a lighter version of like a college-like application. So it's going to ask you for an activities list. So what do you do outside of the classroom? Um, one 400-word essay and one 200-word response. Two shorter responses, fast take responses is what we call them. They're on like 280 characters, so that's like a few sentences. We do seek your official school transcript. We seek one letter of recommendation, and we have an online form for whoever's going to provide that recommendation. Our application fee is $80 for early action, $95 for our regular decision. Um, and you must click the finalize and pay button on the review page for your application to be considered. Uh, so the regular tuition is $7,000 USD for our 2-week program. Uh, we do offer need-based financial aid that cover up to 100% of the costs for need-based applications. Last year, about $3 million was distributed in the form of financial aid. We also work with various partners to help cover the cost of everything for students. I will again point you towards our website. Let's see here. So the website, and if you look at how to apply preview application, I'm just looking here because we have resources if you need help. Yeah, so if you go to like need-based financial aid, there's additional resources to help you with the application process with funding the engagement. And the application for financial aid and scholarships is included with the YYGS application. So deadlines, early action deadline has passed, and I am actively reading student applications every day now. The next deadline is the regular deadline, which is January 7th. So if you're interested, that does give you plenty of time to work on an application and polish up and make it a strong application. Again, there's need-based financial aid up to 100% for people that need it, and we distribute usually around $3 million of financial aid each year. You can apply right at our website, globalscholars.yale.edu. And if you have questions during the process, you can email us at global.scholars@yale.edu if you have a question and you're not finding an answer on the website. And those are all of the speaking points I prepared ahead of time. So now, if you have questions, I'm happy to uh, answer questions. Okay, I see questions now. Um, so this question is about academic scholarships. Um, that's an interesting question. I haven't heard. Our financial aid team works very hard to support students when there's a gap or a need. I haven't heard about scholarships for high school programs, but um, that's an interesting question to maybe Google. Um, I haven't seen it. Uh, okay. So now I'm happy to answer your questions. If you want to drop your questions into the Q&A uh, area, which the Q&A box is separate from the chat box. So if you look, there should be a Q&A box. Where you can post anonymous questions. Yeah. All right, I got another question coming in. Um, if you have not applied to the early decision, does that impact your ability to get in? Um, so we read every application and make decisions based on like the information presented in the application. Um, I would say if you're interested, definitely apply with the regular decision. Um, and don't be worried that you did not make the early decision cutoff. Yeah, just try to make the best application you can and move forward with that strong application, that good presentation of yourself. Um, does this somehow benefit you for college applications? Yes. So the way we design it, we try to mirror what you're going to go through when you get to the actual college applications. So it's kind of like this is a trial run of putting together a strong application for you. And we do find through surveys, a lot of our participants feel that they're better prepared for the college application process after going through our process. There's also very many networking opportunities that you have in the program. So you're in a program with other people who are also going through the college application process and other people who are also very, very strong students. So you guys can share information with each other. You'll also be in community with our instructors who are Yale students. So they can also provide additional insights and perspective on the college application process um, within your network that you'll have access to. All right, and happy to entertain a few more questions if anything hasn't been discussed. Do you get to speak with the professors after lectures? So 9 times out of 10, yes. So usually for my lectures, they stayed after every lecture. I will say that this is it depends on that lecture schedule. So if for some reason they have another obligation that they have to rush to, we can't help that. But I would say last year, the year before, 100% of my lecturers were happy to stay and talk to students who had questions after the lectures. Is there an off-campus option? So we have a program that serves uh, a lot of minors who are 16 and 17-year-olds, and they're also coming from 150 different countries. So we do have some kind of safeguards in place. One of those is requiring everyone to live on the dorms where we have our staff. I think the staff to student ratio is about 1 to 6. So there's lots of campus support. There's dining. Everything you need is right there in our residential colleges. We do not have off campus because we work with so many minors and they're from different countries. They have to navigate a lot of things that they might not be used to. Some people are from rural settings, some people are from the city. So we stay in the dorms to kind of like create enough structure to make sure um, we have good experiences. Can you explain more about what you meant with doing research papers? Okay, yeah, so that's the capstone project. So again, if you're really interested, you can go to our website, and I guess I'll screen share again to kind of help make this explanation stick. Um, oops, and I'll maximize. So very frequently, usually almost every weekday, you're going to go to your capstone classroom from 3:45 to 5. And in that classroom, you're going to have two instructors serving as the research advisors. Um, and based on your interest, you're going to be placed into a group around your topic. I manage the STEM branch. So, for example, for the STEM branch, I have different classrooms, like a biology classroom, a computer science classroom, a neuroscience classroom, a medicine and health or something. So if you're interested in, let's say, medicine and health, you sign up for that. You start off working with our resources from our librarians to kind of brainstorm potential research topics that you might want to do. You were formed into a group. Then pretty much from the second day onward, um, again, like you'll be walking through this guide. So I provide you with like a book, and every day you'll have research goals to make sure that you're moving forward with your project to have something you can be proud of during the presentations, which happen pretty much at the end. So the capstone project is a group research project you do following like a guide with daily goals and also research resources provided by Yale librarians uh, in the capstone classroom. Another question on the capstone: are they graded, or is there a competition of who has the best capstone? So there are no grades at Yale Young Global Scholars. Um, we're not high school. Again, like I'm not teaching anybody calculus here. We're really just about trying to share something interesting with you, share something thought-provoking, um, share new perspectives with you, hear your perspective on what we have to share in the seminar or the lecture or the capstone. So yeah, there's no grades. If you complete it, you get a completion certificate. And we work really, really hard to make sure that you get to the finish line and you get your completion certificate. There are some rules. There's like a code of conduct again on our website. As long as you respect community rules and you complete the activities, you get a completion certificate. But we don't have grades. We're not going to rank best or worst capstone project. 2 weeks is a short time to do a research project. So our students do make tremendous progress. They produce amazing things, but there's no ABC or anything like that. It's really about growing from the experience and taking advantage of the resources that we provide. Does the research ever get published? Interesting question. So um, my hope, at least so I'm the STEM manager, solving global challenges and politics, law, economics. Their capstones are a little bit different. Their themes are different, but at least for the STEM track, my idea, my goal, I think the best capstone projects are ones that you want to keep working on beyond the summer and turn it into something bigger. So hopefully you land with a topic that's really like lighting the fire in your heart and really gets your brain going, and you want to keep collaborating with your teammates and build it into something bigger. So we don't have a journal, we don't publish, but ideally you would come across a topic, you would do hours and hours of hard work to build something you're passionate about and keep working on it. Um, can you describe the dorm life a little more? Uh, yes. So maybe I should talk about some other elements in the schedule. So I talked about the academics. Um, we have like special speaker series. So now I'm looking at what's Wednesday probably. Yeah. So there's a admissions presentation. Oh, so Yale admissions will come and do a presentation. On the Thursday, we'll have auditions for like special speaker series, kind of like um, TED Talk style. Students have a speaker series event that usually runs on Saturday and Sunday evening. There's a talent show, last night party. Um, the dorms, essentially, you can think of it as, oh, I could probably go back to the picture. That might help. So let me go to present. So if you look right in the middle here, you'll see that there's like what, 4 stories. Oh, actually, if you look down in the left, you see a door. So this is like one of the halls. So if you go through that door, there's gonna be like suites, 4 levels high. And then this will be door number one. And imagine there's door number one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, and so on. So you're allowed to access your door, which, and so your door will have like the hall, the 4 floors of suites. Um, I think everyone usually has a roommate. But if you have special accommodation requests, you indicate that in your application if you have something special going on, and we'll try to work with you to make sure you get a dorm that meets your needs. But essentially, yeah, you're going to be assigned to one of the halls, and that's the hall that you have access to. You're not allowed to go to other halls because you know, the suites have a capacity limit, and if for some reason, Kathy decided she wanted to have like a cookie party, and all of a sudden 100 students decide they want to go to Kathy's cookie party, that would be a huge problem if they overcrowded. That would be a safety issue if there were too many people in one hall. So you are restricted to like your assigned hallway, and then breakfast starts at about 7:30. We do sweet checks at about 10. So we take attendance at various points throughout the day to make sure that you are accounted for and you're where we're expecting you to be. Again, for safety protocol, we don't want anyone getting lost, in the city or something. We want to make sure you're getting to your classes again to get your completion certificate. Um, yeah, lights out is at 10. I think on your application you can indicate if you're more of a quiet person, so we'll roam you with a quiet person, or if you're more of a yapper, we'll try to uh put the yappers together and the quiet people together so that people have roommates that work for them. Um uh, So this is an interesting question, but I'm glad it's here. So this person asked, "Is there a chance that we could do a research or something like that with Yale?" Um, there's tons of research opportunities with all kinds of schools. Um, yeah, and that's the long story short. If you're interested in research, you can try to look for opportunities, see if some lab is willing and capable to bring on a high school student in some kind of capacity. Yeah, the world is your oyster. Pursue the things you want. How does the weekend schedule look? Okay, so I did kind of gloss over that. So the weekend is lighter. Monday through Friday is more rigorous. So I'm gonna look now Saturday and Sunday. Again, every day, of course, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You get some free time. You might be playing pool in a game room, or you might be working on your capstone. Saturday morning, you have a special family time with the group you normally meet with. Then lunch, and then symposium activities. So symposium are special activities, but again, these really vary by track. For me, like I usually have like I find researchers to come do like a STEM panel, or I might find like Yale Surgery Department wants to partner with us and do special presentations. We usually go to the Yale Peabody. It's a historic museum here at Yale. And even now I live here, and every time I go, there's like something new. So Peabody is a very rich experience. Some people build these small satellites that measure environmental factors. So kind of like the seminars, you sign up for what you want. That's how I do my symposium that I build out. Um, Solving global challenges in PLE. PLE will have like a special crisis simulation that you have to work through, and then solving global challenges. I think they talk about an international challenge. So the symposium can look very different depending on if you want to do solving global challenges or politics, law, economics, or innovations in science and technology. But that's Saturday and Sunday from 2 to 5. Again, dinner, and then we have a speaker series on Saturday and another speaker series on Sunday evening, with talent show auditions being Sunday morning. So the weekend is much lighter load. The Monday through Friday is where you're really getting in intense academic programming. Do you share a dorm? So yes, most people share the dorms. Again, you when you make your application, if you have, special considerations you want us to make, you just indicate that on your application. Um, or well, at some point there's a housing form that you fill out. So I don't know, maybe you need to be on the first floor for some kind of health thing. At some point, there's a housing form where you kind of fill out your special needs and interests. Can you go off campus during lunch and free times? So Yale is an interesting Ivy League school because it is in a real city. And we are going to have a boundary. We're going to have a designated area for you to explore. There'll be ice cream shops. There'll be burger places. There'll be some stores, the Yale bookstore and things. There'll be the gym. We get a lot of athletes that need to keep their workout routines. But you're definitely uh, restricted to our program boundary while you're in our program. So before and after the program, of course, like you're under the auspices of your parents. But while you're in the actual YYGS program, we do require you stay in boundaries because, again, we got people from 150 different countries. Some people are from the countryside. Some people are from a rural area. Some people are familiar with the city, but they're not familiar with this city. And also, we have like so much time between components. So you only get so much free time. We don't want you to, go too far away and now you're not back in time for your next class or component. So we have a boundary that we require participants to uh, occupy, whether thank you for these really good questions. If anyone has a last question, I'm happy to share what I know. Give it another minute or so. If anybody has any last minute questions. All right, it looks like those are all of your questions. Um, yeah, the next deadline is in January. Uh, I highly recommend going through this process. Um, Even it's just like college admissions, like we get 10,000 or so applications. I think Yale this year got like 50,000 applications for their freshman class. Um, you know, make a strong application, put good effort into it, and apply to more than one thing because there's I only have 1,800 spots, and if 10,000 people apply, there's 1,800 spots. I'm not saying that to discourage you because you could have a great application and you could be one of those 1,800 students. You could also have a great application and be like student number 1,801. So just because you don't get admission doesn't mean you didn't do a good application, doesn't mean you aren't a great student. Just keep your options open. And it'll be the same way after you finish college. And if you're interested in a job or a startup, you're going to have matches and you're going to have places that don't accept you. But it doesn't mean you're not a quality student or you're a quality employee or a quality founder one day. Rejection is just a part of the journey to success. So that being said, I hope that all of you who want to apply put together a strong application, and I hope to see you walking around campus next summer. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you for listening. I hope that this helps inform some of your plans with what you want to do next summer, and hopefully you feel encouraged in your college application process.
Thank you, everyone.